Okay, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, welcome here today to Manchester City. Few pieces of housekeeping before we start the press conference. Photographers will do the first couple of minutes, first couple of questions open to photography, and then my colleague Ellen will take you out and around to the photo position. You'll be doing questions to kick off, please, in English. There are headsets. You can see the channels on the side there. English channel 2, Spanish channel 3. First group of questions, please, in English, and then we'll cut some questions halfway through in Spanish and Catalan. As the microphones, we have 2 microphones on the side. You can see a show of hands clearly, so I can see where we're going with these microphones. And please give your name and organisation before you ask your question, please. So we'll start off with James Cooper.
Good afternoon, Pep. I'm James Cooper from Sky. I think when you first sat down, as Barcelona manager, you told the Barcelona fans to fasten their seatbelts. What was your message now to the Manchester City fans who are looking forward to the next 3 or 4 years?
Yeah, fasten seat. Well, good morning to everybody. It's our first time here. Yeah, fasten seatbelt for the other side of the car. That is. I just arrived 10 days ago, 1 week ago. 10 days ago, we are still here knowing each other, so I need time. But we are going to try to do our best, of course, for our people, especially for our players to be happy what they do, and obviously for our fans to try. At the end, to try to be proud. If our fans are proud about what we do, what they see, because at the end, all the fans are the world are so intelligent when they are seeing their players, and they realize immediately if they are committed for what they do or not. And of course, we're going to try. We start to work about that.
You brought in 3 new players already. How many more new faces would you like to bring in before the end of the transfer window?
But I think all the squads in the world, all the clubs in the world, try to make the best squad as possible. I think, I'm sorry, here maybe it's not maybe not, sure, it's not the right place to explain about the new players. So for respect for the players, for respect for of course, for the other clubs. But I realized immediately how good the journalists in England are, and of course we are going to discover meantime what is our target and what do you want for the next season. Of course, we're going to try to move a little bit the squad, and we're going to try.
And what are your impressions?
1 second, please. We're just going to move the photographers out. Just 2 seconds while we move the photographers out. Thank you. Cheers, guys. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Cheers. Okay.
Cheers.
Sorry, last one from me. What are your impressions of Manchester, and is this the centre of the footballing universe now?
Well, it's really amazing. You know the center better than me, but it's really amazing. So when we are not going play good or we are going play bad, the facilities will not be the reason why. So that's amazing. I think for the community, for Manchester, and of course for the first team squad, and especially for the young players, for the academy, is the best place to develop their skills, their talents. It's amazing, really amazing. Congratulations, of course, to Manchester City for that.
Pep, Simon Stone, BBC. When you took over Barcelona, they were a club who was used to winning things. When you took over Bayern Munich, they were used to winning things. Manchester City, have won things, but last year they fell away. Is this your hardest task as a manager?
So I don't know, really I don't know. Maybe when I took over the second team from Barcelona, it was most the hardest, because that if I felt in that moment my career would be finished. Of course, Barcelona, the demanding there, like Bayern Munich as well. So you have to win every day. So, and I know how difficult here in England, what I saw in the last 3, 4 or 5 years, to find a team to win 4, 5, 6 games in a row and winning these games is not easy. All the people talk about that. All the managers who has more experience than me here in England talking about that. Maybe that is the challenge, and to try to be more constant or constantly constant in our game, and but I think so. I think my career, and always the people are going to demanding my teams, the way we are going to train, so to try to win as much titles as possible. But that is, at the end, that is good. It's better to live in that that pressure than to live, okay, if we win it's okay, and if no win it's okay as either. So I think you have to understand. I think that is the first step. Our body language has to understand. Maybe we will not be able to win. Maybe we are not going to win every day, but we're going to try. And when it doesn't happen, something is going to happen. So that is, I think, that is the most important thing to change in our players.
People associate you with magnificent football, with passing football. Do you think that will be possible every week in a league as physical as England?
That's why I'm here. To prove myself that I am able to do that. Just here from Barcelona in Bayern Munich, that I will not be able, but that is the reason why I'm here. So I was in Barcelona, where I had absolutely everything, the best player ever, and one team where most of the players grew up from the academy, so I knew them. In Bayern Munich, a club where I have a lot of experience as well for many things, and here is another test for my career. So it had been comfortable to stay where we were when I was, but now I feel that is the right moment to come here and to prove myself, if I'm able to convince these players to play the way we want, not just I want, we want, and show level. At the end, we will see. Of course, it's not going well. We are ready to prepare what's going to happen.
Pep, Don McGuinness, Talk Sport. You mentioned before, you just touched upon facilities and young players. As part of the project and the job you have now, how important will it be to move players from this academy into the first team?
I love to work with the young players. In Barcelona, I was lucky because I started in the second team, and when promoted to go to the first team, I knew almost all the players in the second team, the third and the fourth team, until 18, 17. And that helped me a lot. And I knew when I spoke with Rodo, especially with Chiqui and with Rodo, I knew that they are working the last years very well in that sense. So Chelsea and Manchester City are the best academies in that way, in the way they play. They are fighting both clubs to win the titles in the academies. And now I realize in the short time, 1 week, we are working with 10 players in the second team. And most of them I am really impressed about their quality. I'm really impressed.
And you have been working, obviously, with the players that are here this week. How good has it been to meet up again with Yaya Toure and some other familiar faces?
I know Yaya from a long time. He did very well in Barcelona and here as well. So he's a huge talent. And of course, all the players are here right now, count on me. So after that, we're going to see what's happening in the future. Not just in the case in the Yayas, in the other players. But Yaya is here. I count on them, on him.
Pep, Guillermo Alaguer, Sky Sports. Would you share with us your feelings 1 minute before starting the press conference at Barcelona? 1 minute before starting the press conference in Munich and the minute before you started this press conference?
Always nervous. I'm afraid of you, all of you. That's why I take a little bit distance. So I know when we try to do our best, and I know when it's not going well, you are not going to help us. You are not going to help me. I know a little bit this is business. So that's why sometimes it's better to be a little bit take distance, because sometimes when we are so close friends, after you have to make my job, and when we play bad, you have to say, oh, this team play bad. And after I am disappointed, and that's why it's better to be a little bit far away. And you make your job free, and I can make my job free. Of course, every 3 days I will be here to spend our time together.
Good morning, Pep. Alan Khan, Sport 360 in UAE. Pep, did you meet with Sheikh Mansour and the chairman? Did they set you any objectives and targets, or do you set your own?
No, we saw each other 3 times, and just talk about what he thinks. We tried to meet each other. I know he lives in Abu Dhabi. I'm going to live here in Manchester, but we are fully in contact by telephone. Of course, when he's coming here, we're going to see each other. And no, they are not asking me, you have to win Premier League or the Champions League or like this. So he told me, make your job as best as possible, make your job like you are, and after that, we are going to see. And I feel the club is, of course, behind us, support us to reach what we need, to reach what we are looking for.
Rory Smith at the back, please.
Hi Pep, Rory Smith from The Times. When Javier Mascherano joined Barcelona from England, he said it took a year to adapt to the type of football you played at Barcelona. How long will it take the players here to adapt to your style of football?
Javier Mascherano is so humble. So humble. That is not true. He achieved what we want immediately. Javier is one of the most intelligent players I ever seen in my career, like a football player, like a coach. Sometimes you speak with the players, you want to make an assessment on an idea and a concept. Before you finish your idea, he already understood that. So there are not many, there are few, but Javier is one of them. So, and at the end, what we want is so simple. Is when the opponent has the ball, take as soon as possible, recover, take him back, and when we have the ball, try to move as quick as possible, to create as much chances as possible. That's all. And good team spirit. That is my target. Like the next life here in my next life here in Manchester.
Hi Pep, Sam Lee from Goal.com.
Yeah, sorry.
At Barcelona, you had a lot of roles above being a coach. At Bayern, you work more in a set structure with a lot of club legends. How do you see your role here? What are your responsibilities above being a coach?
My responsibility here is try to the players I will be in our hands, in my hands, do it absolutely everything for them. That is my target. The other business, the club is, I realize is great, is huge, in the sense is big, and they want to grow up and make him better this year. So I am just focused in my players, focused in what I have to do on the pitch. That is the reason why as well. The reason why I decided to come here.
Hi Pep, James Robson, Manchester Evening News. You spent a certain amount of time at Barcelona, a certain amount of time at Bayern Munich. I wonder, do you see this as potentially your last job in football?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
I wonder, how many opportunities did you get to come to England before Manchester City as a manager?
Seriously, it was this one. So I will be grateful for this club, for the people who trust me to join this country and join the Premier League. So of course I think the coaches sooner or later has to prove what does it mean to play in England, the Premier League. And Manchester City gave me this challenge, this opportunity, and the chance, and for me, always I'll be grateful for that. So I will do my best until the last day. I will do my best to achieve or to reach what we want.
Hello, I'm Geert from Belgian newspaper Nieuwsblad. I'm a little bit interested in the two Belgians who are here. Vincent Kompany was always a captain here, but with his injuries there was some doubts about him. How do you think about him?
What I think about Vincent Kompany, that England know his quality maybe better than me. My dream for Vincent Kompany is to be fit. We cannot ask about Kompany or about, especially him in the last 2 years. He played not too many games, few games. Is to be fit. That is, without that we cannot talk about the other point. And of course the captain has a lot of experience. He's a magnificent central defender, but he has to be fit. And I spoke with him. We spoke with him. Just focus on your body. Forget about it, the other kind of things. Just focus and to recover, to come back what you were in the past, about your physical condition. And after that, Vincent will decide for himself, or he'll show again his quality.
Pep, Richard Conway from BBC Radio 5 Live. You were quoted a couple of years ago as saying you disliked or even loathed the phrase tiki-taka because it didn't represent what you felt you were playing at Barcelona. With that in mind, and given the style of football you played at Bayern, could you give us an insight into how you see this City squad playing, how you see them performing, what you want to see them do?
When I arrived in Bayern Munich, I had an idea. It was my first experience to move on from I grew up from the 13 years old, where I felt completely, or I feel completely the way in Barcelona play. I move on from Bayern Munich, and that's the idea. I want to try to make what I feel. But I learned immediately that at the end I have to adapt about the quality of my players. So in the quality of my players, it was completely different about the players I had before in Barcelona. And of course, the way in German play is completely different in Spain. I am pretty sure I never played one game in Premier League, so against Sunderland, against the Big Sam, I will play the first one. But I am pretty sure will be completely different in England and in Germany. That's why I'm here, to prove or to see there how it is. And of course, I have to adapt my ideas and the quality of the players. And we are looking for the players as well for the adapt what I want, because it's difficult for me to convince the players something I don't believe. So in this mix, we have to find each other, and as soon as possible, and play the way. But there are 2 or 3 things that they are not going to change for the rest of my life, like a coach. Always will be the same. And after that, the details, if the player play here or play there, or play more in front, or a little bit more back, or like this, it depends on the quality of the players. Fortunately, we don't play, and the fans go to the stadium, Etihad Stadium, and to see our players, and they have to adapt. We have to adapt about their qualities.
Okay, last few questions in English before we go to Spanish ones. We'll start with Martin, please.
Pep, Martin Sammy, the Daily Mail. The perception is that the best players in the world are still congregated in Spain, Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo. The most successful coaches are now coming to England, yourself and Jose Mourinho and Jurgen Klopp and those guys. Why do you think that is? What is the appeal of English football to a coach, to you particularly as a coach?
Hopefully for the best for everybody, the best players can come here in England. Because what I said before, at the end, we cannot forget that. Of course, we spoke a lot. The managers, the trainers, the coaches speak a lot every 3 days, and that's why the people believe you have the key of all solutions, or we are more important. And at the end, the fans go in the stadium to see the players. I don't know the reason why the other coaches came here. I just can't talk about me. So I came like a football player 2 or 3 times to see this atmosphere, and like a coach in Champions League in Barcelona, in Bayern Munich, we came many times to play here and said, wow, that is pretty good. Not just the atmosphere and I never leave the Boxing Days, for example. I never go to the stadiums with freezing and windy and where the pitch is not good, and the people say Pep just can play in good conditions for his style. I said, okay, why not can play good with windy and freezing and this kind of pitches, and that's why it's a target for me. It's a personal, ambition to say I want to prove myself to live here. That's why maybe the other ones it was the same. I don't know.
Hi Pep, David Chisnell from ITV. If I can just ask you about your England players, Joe Hart and Raheem Sterling, both were criticised in the summer for their performances for England. What did you make of their performances, and how important are both of them for you here?
Yeah, they were criticized because they lost. And when they lost, it not depends of Sterling. I hear the last week or 10 days what happened with, especially with the Sterling. Of course, he has a little bit problem. The money they pay for him and always is in the mind from the people. But I am curious. I am expecting. I am looking forward to work with him to try to help him to show us again how good player he is, and not just with the Sterling, with of course Joe Hart and for the other English players. And we like to in Barcelona. The basis it was Catalan Spanish players there. In Germany and Bayern Munich was the basis it was, and I would like to work with English bases here, but they are so expensive here, the English players, more than the other players around the world, and it's not easy. But not just about Joe, about Raheem. I'm going to try to help, of course, to help them, to help all of them.
Steve from AP. You're not the only new manager in Manchester. Are you looking forward to relishing sort of renewing your competition with Jose Mourinho over in the United?
I think Jose said pretty well in his press conference. I think it's not about him, about me. I think so. So we are focused between each other. So the other one is going to win. So there are what I saw from the distance is. It's no matter the teams, it's so tough to win here the games. I will prove myself, I am pretty sure of that, how difficult it is. But I need to so I played many times, we played many times against each other. Only I can say, like a coach, they help me, the big coaches, and Jose is of course one of them, they help me to reach another level like a coach. So my experience against him, against, for example, Jurgen Klopp in Dortmund, or in that time in Dortmund, Thomas Tuchel, and a lot of coaches and managers in Spain, in England, they made me better. So, and of course, all of managers the world want to win, and of course here also we're going to try to win as well.
Okay, guys, we'll do questions in Spanish now, so the English journalists can listen on the channel. Okay. Thank you.
José García, Deportes 4. ¿Cómo se presenta este año el duelo entre Pep Guardiola y José Mourinho?
How do you see the sort of battle oncoming between Mourinho and Mourinho? I'll just explain in English. I think we've got a game coming up in China, then we've got the fourth game at Old Trafford, then we've got in the second round of fixtures here as well. We probably won't play them because they're in the Europa League. Might come up against them in the Carling Cup or the FA Cup. I've also got a battle against Ronald Koeman and other managers as well. Paul Gustems of Catalonia Radio. When you arrived at the Bundesliga, you said that the German football was based on counter-attacks. What do you think the Premier League football is based upon? What sort of tactics? What do you think? I'll need a bit of time to be able to discover what type of style of play it is here. I think it's going to be more physical. Some people say it's not as attractive football, but I can't say that. I need to speak to people here, English people at the club, with Arteta,
Brian Kidd,
tots en diuen el mateix. Everybody here, they've said that it's very physical,
Això condiciona molt la forma de...
and that kind of can condition the way in which you play.
En mig any t'ho podré...
I think halfway through the season I might be able to explain better that answer. RAC-U. Is this the biggest challenge of our career?
Jo crec que sempre ho ha sigut, ja ho he dit abans. El repte del filial va ser gran, el primer equip... Cadascú té la seva...
I think every stage has had a big challenge.
Potser perquè...
It could be the biggest because City have not won as many titles as Barca or Bayern, but I don't know. I can't answer that one. The challenge is coming to a new country, playing and trying your best to prove yourself. That's the challenge. And afterwards, what have you learned in the few days' work that you've done here so far? Was it easier at Barca? At the end of the day, we depend upon players, and they depend upon us as well. And you've got to adapt to the country in which you're in. It'll be the same here, same as it was in Germany. Get to know the players. These players have played all over the place, places like Old Trafford, Anfield, and they've got to qualify for the Champions League. The owners, the previous managers, Mancini and Pellegrini, it's just a case of trying to maintain the level that's been set at this club and try that every match that they go into, they make it difficult for the other team to win, that they represent the shirt.
Hola, soc Lu Martín del diari El País. M'ha semblat entendre que ha dit vostè que jugar contra equips entrenats per entrenadors com Mourinho.
Playing against teams managed by people like Klopp, and you've said that you'll be made a better manager playing against teams managed by Mourinho and Klopp. What are you bringing to City in terms of your team, and also what will Brian Kidd bring and Arteta bring to the party? Kidd knows the club perfectly. He knows the Premier League. He's been at City, United. He's helping me get to know the players. Arteta is one of the best central midfielders there's been. He knows English football. A lot of the players and these people know lots of stuff that I need to know and need to learn and understand. I've brought people from Barcelona and Munich, Carlos. I know their capacities and their abilities. It's all about getting to know the Premier League, what English football means, the Premier League, and what the players can do. And the next challenge will be to get the best out of Toure. All the players are coming from holiday. They're only beginning to train now. Not just Yaya, but everybody.
Hola, Pep. Jorge Pérez de la agencia EFE. Es un poco a colación de lo que ha dicho Luis.
It's a little bit to do with what Luis just said. You've said you've come here to learn. How important is it for you to have guys like Mikel Arteta alongside you? Very important. We've been studying a lot what the Premier League means, how we defend, how we attack, tactical things. They know. They've got like 12. He's got 12, 13 years between Scotland and here. He knows what Boxing Day is all about. He's going to tell me about everything before I take any decisions. I will consult him with Mikel. Two questions. First one. What do you hope to achieve in 3 years at Manchester City? Depends on what happens. How do you imagine it going? hopefully we'll play well, win games, that everyone's happy with us, the fans are happy with us. I can't tell you though, it's too early. It's all a kind of getting to know things stage at the moment. I've been working 8 or 9 days with the first team. Loads are still on holiday, still players need to come here. I've not really had all the squad together yet, I need to get to know the players. It's difficult to comment at this stage. It's difficult to know what they're capable of. Obviously I've got big expectations. I hope things go as well as they can as quickly as possible. Second question.
Et preocupa més el soroll col·lateral de viure en una ciutat amb Mourinho per aquí al costat?
Are you worried at all the fact that you're in the same city as Mourinho?
O realment
Or really,
ja t'has fet gran I tot això ja
is all that, is that just kind of not a big thing now? I don't see it as a question. We're both here, Jose and I. He wants to win, I want to win. We know each other pretty well. From before we know each other from Barcelona. But I insist on that, you know, it's... I think it's great that big managers are here, top managers are here. Big managers take me as a manager to a different level. Competing with managers like that take me to the next level, to try and win the Cup, win the Premier League, win the Champions League. They push you to try and achieve those things. But we'll find out, and then you find out whether you're big enough or capable of running teams like Barca, like Bayern, like Madrid, like Manchester City. But I've only just started training and managing here.
Bona tarda, Pep. Pol Ballús per al diari Sport. Una mica com valores tota la varietat tàctica que tindrà aquesta Premier amb Conte, Klopp, tots els entrenadors que
There's lots of tactical variations available now in the Premier League. People like Klopp, Conte. How do you think that will play out tactically? It's going to be interesting to see how it. Conte's a master tactician. I think he's a great signing for Chelsea. It's going to be very interesting competing against people like Klopp and him, Ranieri as well, Koeman also. Loads of coaches come to mind. Apart from saying it's going to be interesting, it's hard to say how it's going to play out. Have you ever thought about being manager of Spain? I'm a club manager. I like the work that I do at club level.
Thank you very much, guys. Thank you. Dailies, we'll see you downstairs in